Hi everybody, I'm Joey with Create with Joey, and today we're going to look at the Layers of Beauty bundle with Stampin' Up. It uses 5 masks to make some beautiful cards to add depth and coloring, and we're going to use blending brushes. And I've got some extra tips and tricks for you about using your blending brushes for beautiful cards and other things you can use them for too. So before we get started, I'm going to get myself pulled up on my own computer right here. Looks like there's a lot of posts that I'm needing to scroll through because I'm not live on it yet. So just give me a second to get all the technology pulled up here. And there I am. Okay, so now I can see what you're seeing. I can see your comments. Just got to move my laptop out of the way. Hi Diane. Good. Oh, yay, good. So I'm already showing up, so that's good. And then on my right here, something's going weird with my iPad. You know, I'm out of my routine. Oh, look how close I am. Sorry about that. This is just going wacky here. Hang on, everybody. Sorry. I did have everything I thought pulled up the way it should be, and now it seems like it's moved. Let me turn down my volume on my iPad. I have my iPad right here so I can see what you're seeing as well. So I hope you're having a good day today. Let's go ahead and get started with Layers of Beauty. So hang on, I have to click a little tool here and then I'll go upside down, but you'll be right side up when you're looking at my workspace. So let's get this pretty well. Let's go a little bit this way. I think that's the right way. Yeah, there we go. Oh, that went pretty good today, pretty smoothly. Here is the stamp set, Layers of Beauty, and here are the dies. So you've got the dies that obviously cut around these images, and this die, it cuts around a partial part of the image. Now if I can find it. Where is this? How does this go? Oh, like this. But this is a smaller image because they have to get it to fit on the front of the stamp case. But then this one, you know, cuts out the whole thing. Well, obviously like this, cuts out the whole thing. We're going to actually focus. Oh, and then there's this cute little tag die. We're going to use that today too. And then there's some other little images here. This little flower, this little leaf, and a tiny flower. And there are dies for all of those. And then you've got some extra dies here for leaves that just make leaves. They don't correspond to a stamp. So I really like this stamp set. It's new to me. I just got it. It's in the new annual catalog. Hi, Pam. Yay, my friends are starting to find me today. It's so nice to see you guys. It's been a whirlwind the past couple weeks. So, as some of you know, I went to Mexico. Let me get everything out for our first card. On the Stampin' Up incentive trips. Again, I'm really humbled that I got to go. Very few demonstrators get to go, and it's because of you, my customers, and my team that I was able to go. So that was really, really nice. And then I got back from that, and I'm going to tape this down. This is a piece of just a basic white cardstock that is about, let me get in the center here. It's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, so it's an exact quarter piece of a full piece of 8 1/2 by 11 cardstock. So I'm going to just tape this down. We're going to use the 5 masks that go with this, and so I don't really want anything to be, excuse me, I'm reaching in front of you to get these masks. Anyway, I got home from Mexico, didn't even unpack because a couple days later, I decided I would go to Denver. I have a very close friend there whose husband who just suddenly passed away. It was a really, really sad story. And all my friends, my high school friends that I get together with, oops, we don't want to do that first. We want to stamp first. we're having a luncheon to get together with her and to support her. And I wanted to go, so at the last minute, I bought a plane ticket. This is Early Espresso ink, and I am inking my stamp with the stamp side up. It's a lot easier when you do it that way. When it's a large stamp, you can be a little bit more assured. Let me get in the picture here. And I'm going to be pretty thorough with this because I don't want to have to restamp it. I want to make sure I've got ink everywhere. Anyway, I flew to Denver on a Thursday, came back Sunday night very late. And of course, as you would know, my flight got delayed more than once. We got home here at 1:30 in the morning. So needless to say, the next day I rested. I wasn't able to get very much done, so that would be just this past Monday. And it just threw me off to get my Facebook Live ready for Wednesday. I was just tired and behind. So I didn't go live on Wednesday like I usually do. Today is Thursday. There we go. I think this is actually just gorgeous, just on its own. You could just trim this up and put it on the front of a card and be done. But we're going to use the mask to color this. You could also use Memento Black. I am using a matte of Early Espresso, so I went ahead and used Early Espresso ink. It's just such gorgeous artwork. I just love it, and I love roses. Growing up in Denver, my mom had a gorgeous rose bed. She grew the largest roses I've ever seen in my life. Okay, so now we're going to line up the mask number 1, and you'll know that because they're marked. Now this is my marking. There is a tiny white. I'm going to try and hold this up. I don't know if you can see that. You can barely see it on camera. The 2, there's a 2 here, but I just went ahead and used a magic marker to number my masks. I wasn't going to try and look at those teeny tiny numbers that are in white. Now, I'm going to go ahead, and you wouldn't have to tape the mask down, but I am going to just for the sake of video. I don't want to mess it up. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Jackie. Jackie, you got me live today. Yay. So nice of you guys to come and watch on the day that I'm normally not on. I didn't know if I'd have anybody here today. I did put it on my email and on my Facebook page, but you know, Facebook pages are like walking sidewalks. So, I mean moving sidewalks. So you don't know, you know, if people don't catch it pretty much right when you post it, they may or may not ever see it. Okay, I've got some scrap paper here. You'll want to have some scrap paper handy. I could just use my grid paper. We do sell the grid paper. It's in the catalog and it's online. But I don't like for you to be looking at a mess while I'm stamping. So I try and usually use an extra piece of scrap paper so that you're not looking at a mess, because we're going to change colors. This is Petal Pink, and it's going to be my lightest color. So I'm just going to rub my blending brush over it, and I'm going to kind of brush it off just a little bit because I want this to be my lightest color. I really love Petal Pink. It's not really pink. It's more peach than it is pink, but I really like it. It's one of my favorite colors. And then you're just going to use your blending brush to color your lightest color of whatever colors you're using. This is going to be your lightest one. We're going to use two or three colors on this today. This may or may not turn up like my sample, because I kind of would start on a color and then go, oh no, I think I want a different color, and I didn't change. Okay, so that's pretty good. That is, I think that's good enough for our first color. Well, maybe a little bit more. Maybe should be a little bit more. Let's do just a little bit more color on here. I'm going to start in the center of my flowers and then work my way out, because I want this concentration of color to be either at the bottom, like this would be at the bottom, and then move into the rose. And then this one, the concentration, I think for this one will be in the middle. So I'm going to start there and then move out. And then for these little flowers here on the edges, I'm just going to briefly go over them another time. There's some little buds over here. I almost missed those. Anyway, yesterday I didn't even get out of my pajamas. I mean, I was so tired. I didn't really actually have a chance to recover from Mexico before I turned around and traveled again. All right, my friends, now we're going to take mask number 2, and we're just going to go ahead and line this one up too. They're not hard to line up, but you just have to take a little bit of time to make sure you're getting everything. I'm looking at these outside edges. I'm also looking at the edge of this rose, because then I think of, and these little leaves, I think if I get those lined up, everything will be good. I think that's good. This is Post-it tape. I just buy it on Amazon. It's called Labeling and Cover Up Tape. I think they come in packs of 2, if I'm remembering correctly. I'm just going to take a little bit. Now, when I did my original, I didn't tape the masks. So if you're thinking, that seems like a lot of work, you don't really have to. I'm doing it just so I don't mess it up on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? All right, now the second color I think I used was Flirty Flamingo. I could be wrong. I kind of was thinking of my mom's rose garden, where she had these kind of yellowish, peachy, into pink roses. Now, I'm not sure this is what I did for brushes. I think I actually used the same brush. So I don't have a brush for every color, but if I'm going to go into a different color, I'm going to brush this off really, really, really well. And then I kind of hold the brushes by the fat part, not here. I mean, I could do this, but I don't feel, it's kind of, you know, it moves quite a bit right there. I wouldn't say it's flimsy, but it kind of worries me. So I'm pretty much got the ink out of, I have pretty much gotten the ink out. That would be better English. Out of the Flirty Flamingo. So now this layer is going to, yeah, I'm not sure this is the color I used. I'm looking at my sample. I don't think this is what I used, but we're going to go with it. You can't really go wrong. These colors are similar to each other, but not the same. And the mask is going to cover up the parts of the flower that we don't want to be any darker, so that's helpful. And then I'm going to go back over these again, these little flowers, okay, like so. Now again, this is not going to look like my original. I'm looking at my original going, I don't think that's what I used, but that's okay because these work pretty well. If we don't like it, we might come back with another color and see how that works. Okay, so that's that. Now we have one more layer of, oh, that does actually look nice. Can you see how, can you see? It's going to be subtle in the camera, but it did turn out pretty. It's not going to be exactly like my original, but we're going to go with it. Okay, let's go with number 3. Same thing at the top. We're going to go ahead and line these up. Now this one is going to let you color the little buds of those daisy type flowers in your accent color. Looking, kind of making sure I'm getting those little centers of my flowers lined up. Anyway, I know I'm going back and forth with my days this week. I did work on and off yesterday. I mean, I designed these cards that I'm showing you today, but in between time I rested, and there was one point that I rarely sleep during the day, but I lay down for a while mid-afternoon, and I was out so hard. I didn't wake up for, I don't know how long it was, probably till dinner time. This is Calypso Coral, so we're gonna go with this one now. Again, I don't have individual brushes for every color. But if you're going to use the same brush, you just want to make sure you're really, really getting most of the color out of your brushes before you move on. Now, some people do have a dedicated color. Whoops, I still need that. A dedicated brush for every color. And if you're happy with that, you go. And so this is again, this is going to be your darkest color. So this is going to be the color of the buds, or I mean the inside centers of your daisy-like flowers. And so I'm going to go ahead and let this be fairly dark. But anyway, that was my day yesterday. There was no way I could have done a Facebook Live. Well, it just wouldn't have happened. My brain was tired, my body was tired, and I also have fibromyalgia. It's an autoimmune disease that one of the symptoms is fatigue. Okay, didn't that turn out pretty? Voila! Turned out so pretty. Now I'm going to actually, for this one, I'm going to take my mat and I'm going to get off of my card for a moment. I don't want to mess that up. And I'm just going to wipe this off. I'm going to leave these little tape things on. How's that for an accurate word? I'm going to go ahead and wipe the rest of these too because I'm stacking them. I don't have enough room here to leave them all, you know, by themselves, to have their own space on my desk. So I have to stack them up, so I need to clean them. You might want to clean them anyway in order just to make sure you're not getting ink in places you don't want it. Anyway, I think this turned out really pretty, you guys. So we'll see how it goes with the rest of the things I have planned for this card, meaning the background paper. Now we're gonna work on the leaves. So this is mouse number 4, and I'm matching here. Usually I just try and find one place to start with and get that matched up, and then everything kind of falls into place. I don't know if you can see this. I think you can see it fairly well where I'm getting it lined up. And if you look up corner to corner, then you can kind of tell where it's not lined up the way you really want it to be. Going up a little bit like this. And I think that's pretty good. It might not be 100% accurate, but with blending brushes, it's okay, I think. Gonna get my stamp out of the way, and now we're gonna go back to our Post-its. Now, if you were making multiples of these, obviously you would just do all the 1s and then all the 2s and all the 3s. It would just streamline your card making a little bit more. This kind of got off, so I need to kind of move this just a touch. There, I think that's better. Now I'm going to use Pool Party on this. And again, I don't have a dedicated brush for this one, or do I? I don't think I do. So let's go ahead and... I had used a little bit of Shy Shamrock on this as well. So I don't want the Shy Shamrock in my Pool Party. So here we go with Pool Party. Oh, Kathy, there are a lot on Wednesdays, but today worked better. Hi, Julie. Well, good to know. You know, I didn't do Facebook Live on Thursdays because I normally have, when I do my in-person classes, they're on Thursday nights. So it's kind of a lot to do a Facebook Live and an in-person class at night. But Thursday is actually my favorite day to do either live classes or online classes. So I might rethink that a little bit. Most of my customers now are online and not as many in person. So I'll have to think that through. We'll stick with Wednesdays for a while. I'm looking through my whole schedule and trying to figure out, oops, that moved. Oh, we don't want that. You could use Scotch tape for this too, or, you know, any removable tape would be best. All right, this got moved, kids, so we have to straighten this out just a touch here. There you go. This schedule's worked pretty well for me for my classes to go every week, but I got behind a couple weeks ago, and then I really got behind with Mexico. I'm caught up. I think I'm caught up with all my dates. I've met all my deadlines. Here's some leaves here. So this is just pool party, and it's going to be my lighter color here. And why pool party? Because we're going to use this designer series DSP, and that has pool party in it. So that's why my leaves are pool party. Now we've got one more. We're down to our last mask. Let me go ahead and just clean this quickly. Hi, Kathy. Yay, you found me live today too. Maybe Thursday is a better day, everybody. I don't know. Maybe I just got the word out, or maybe Thursday's just better. So that's something I'll be thinking about as I go forward, because I'm trying to rethink my whole class schedule. I mean, I'm not going to make any drastic changes. I'll still keep my club going and do Facebook Lives. I'm not sure. I might cut back to less Facebook Lives. I hate to say that because it's actually my favorite thing that I do. This is mask number 5. And see if I'm trying to check all my corners here. You can see that this actually does go pretty fast. Anyway, I don't know. I don't run out of ideas and excitement. I just run out of energy. I think Julie posted that yesterday. Now for this one, that she wants to do a lot of things too, and she runs out of energy before she runs out of time. And I get that. Yes, I do too, for the most part. All right, now I'm going to use just a little bit of, I'm going to take a smaller blending brush. The blending brushes come in group sets of 3. So 3 small ones are $14 and 3 large ones are $15. And I have both. Since this is a smaller area, I'm going to be pretty light with this because I don't actually know how much of contrast this one's going to be. And I don't want it super contrasty because our roses are pretty subtle in their shading. So I don't want to get too carried away here with the darker color. Summer Splash is a new in color. And by the way, there's a great joining special going on. You get $125 for $99. And you get everything in the new ink colors. You get the cardstock, you get the ink pads, you get the markers, you get the, oh, I'd have to look it up, but a whole bunch of things. Okay, well, I think that's good for the leaves. It looks like I didn't get anything over here though. Well, let's do a little bit more on that leaf right there. It needs a little more contrast. I don't know if I just missed it or I didn't have enough ink on my brush. So let's push this down and give it a little bit more. Summer Splash. Oh, hi Diane. Okay, I understand. I'm so happy you could join me for a while. Diane's off to teach a class with her ladies at the nursing home. How wonderful. I used to do that. I haven't done that for quite a long time, but okay, let's see if we got a little bit more contrast there. Yeah, we did. I like that just a little bit better. It shows up better. Let's get rid of this stuff and let's go ahead and clean this mask. And so we don't have ink everywhere. All right, so we've got this much, and now we're going to actually go ahead and die cut this. We've got all our coloring done, but isn't that nice? And you don't have to worry about being a great colorer. Obviously, if you like to color with blends, markers, or you like to watercolor with watercolor pencils, you certainly could color these roses, but I just think it's so pretty with the masks. And I just chose similar colors. I didn't do very much, I didn't do contrasting. It will be kind of fun to try with contrasting colors too that are well chosen. Okay, now let's grab the die. And we'll go ahead and cut this out. And the die cutting machine. I was, of course, running a little late yet this morning. I was writing up the project sheet for these cards. By the way, I will post the project sheet. There'll be a link on my blog to the to the project sheet that has all the sizes of the paper I'm using. It has all the ingredients I'm using. I'm trying to get this lined up. I can't seem to talk and line this up. It will be on my blog. It will be, and you'll have to go to the class to go page. That's where you'll find the measurements and the ingredients for everything that I use. Of course, I moved now, and this is all moved out of whack. So it's not posted yet. I had hoped to have it posted, but it is completed. I completed it before the video. I'll show you what it looks like in a minute once we get this die cut. So let's go ahead. Let's tape this down in a couple places just for security's sake, because we did spend, you know, some time getting this all lined up the way it should be. So let's go ahead and go through here like so. And do you ever start, you've got an idea about a card you want to make and you're limited on time. But once you start making your card, you're like, oh, this would be pretty. Oh, I'd like to try this one. And you know, you have all these ideas about what to do with your card in different colors or with different background papers, all of that. There is a little die. I think I showed it to you earlier on. There's a little label die. It's really tiny. And I thought I had die cut it, but I guess I didn't. So let's take our scrap paper. But I found myself wanting to make pink roses and yellow roses. I love roses anyway. And as I said earlier, they always make me think of my mom. What we might do with this one is maybe we'll stamp it first. We'll keep our die there, and then I have the stamp here. I love this little stamp. It says, God bless. Let's take some scrap paper. We'll just take some paper off of our rose that we just die cut, and we'll go ahead and, I don't like these edges. They always catch on things, so I usually take them off right away. Let's go back to our early espresso ink, and let's stamp God bless. Jackie, you don't love to color. I am not a lover of coloring either. I will do it. This is a lot for me to color on this rose. This stamp set, I'll probably never color on this stamp set. I'll use the masks. God bless. There we go. And then we'll go ahead and die cut this. And get on my plates here. If there are, like, if you're coloring children or small images, oops, stuck to my hand. I'm gonna put a gem up here, so I'm gonna keep the God bless a little bit more to the right. Put that down. Now, one way that I'm much happier coloring something like this is if I would stamp it in Stays on ink on watercolor paper. and then I would watercolor it, or if I embossed it in gold or silver, and then I was coloring it on watercolor paper with watercolor brushes. I do like the watercolor that way. It takes more time to get it set up, so I'm probably going to be doing multiple cards if I'm going to do that, but I do enjoy that. But I love the way these masks are turning out for this card, so that makes me happy. I just love these masks and the detail that they provide. And if you're interested in getting the supplies for this card, if you put in a $40 order this week using this host code, I'll send you the supplies to make these cards that I'm making today. If you put in a $50 order, I'll also include a blending brush. Probably a small blending brush will fit in the envelope a little bit better, so I'll send you a small blending brush for your order of $50 or more, along with the card kit. But make sure you use the host code. That's the key. Stampin' Up! Used to let us call them and add customer host codes when they would forget to, when people would forget to do it, but they don't do that anymore. At least they don't do it very happily. We're going to take some petal pink ribbon. This is part of a ribbon duo in the annual catalog, the new one, and they come together. Let's go ahead and wrap this ribbon around here first. So you get a bolt of white and you get a bolt of petal pink in the same pack. I'm going to bring this over here. If you're watching on YouTube and you're enjoying this video, I invite you to subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. If you're watching on Facebook and you haven't liked or followed my page yet, I invite you to do that, again, so you don't miss anything coming up. Okay, so probably I didn't need quite that much ribbon, but that was the end of the bolt, so we're just gonna go with it. Now I'm trying to just trim it up here. This is one of my mom's old sewing scissors. It's not Stampin' Up! So if you're like, is that the only ribbon scissors? Our paper snips cut ribbon very well, but again, just make sure it's a dedicated ribbon scissors and you don't use it to cut paper because that dulls it. All right, we're gonna kind of just sketch this up here. Scooch. You know what I'm doing, right? So I'm going to use just little bits of tape, and then I'm going to put this up fairly far so our rose doesn't get covered up in any way. So I'm going up like this. Going ahead now and, oh, I think I did it like this on my card. Yes, I did. Okay, so that'll work. Okay, let's go ahead. I kind of want this to go a little bit more to the side. So you can sometimes kind of control where your ribbon's going, the ends of it. Sometimes it seems like you can't, but you usually have some control over it. This is the end of a piece of dimensionals. Make sure you use all your dimensionals. So after you use the ones that are already die cut, make sure you go back in and use your paper snips, your small scissors that are not your ribbon scissors, to cut these little edges off, and so you use up all of your dimensionals. They're a good bargain anyway, but we don't want to waste them. Let's see, I'm going to get one more on here. Now, one thing I forgot to do before we added these, I have to pull up my chair here, which you can't see me doing it, but pulling up my chair. I'm getting my head in there. Sorry about that. We're going to add Wink of Stella. Wink of Stella is back in stock, everybody. And if you don't know what Wink of Stella is, you need to be introduced to it. Wink of Stella is a glitter pen, but it doesn't have particles of glitter. It is a shimmery, glittery. And there was just a real run on the manufacturers of Wink and Stella, and we couldn't get it for a while. I want to make sure I'm not off my card here, so I'm not pushing it down yet. This is a very big die cut, so I'm gonna just make sure none of it's going off my card so it doesn't get bent in the envelope. Then let's grab our Wink of Stella. So this is what Wink of Stella looks like. When you first buy it, there's a little black band there, and you have to make sure, whoops, we don't want to do that. Make sure you take off that black band because that's what's actually keeping the ink from flowing while it's in packaging. So now you're not going to be able to really see this up close. And if you need to squeeze your Wink of Stella, don't do it on your, and you squeeze it to get the ink to come down into the barrel, into the brush. But just squeeze gently so you see it flowing. But don't do it on your image because sometimes it can leave a little blob like that. And then that will show because it's harder to blend in. But sometimes you need to get that ink back down into the barrel. And I'm just covering it up. And then I need a little more. I'm just gently squeezing again. And it's coming down. Oops, that was quite a bit, but that's okay. Can you have too much shimmer? I don't think so. Diane isn't still on, but she would say no. You can't have too much. Now the other thing, because I have a lot on my brush, so I'm just going back over this to just use it up and not waste it because it is a treasure. Wink of Stella is a treasure. Now it's so subtle, I don't know how much you're going to actually be able to see on the video. I'm going to hold this up and see if I can move it enough for you to see the shimmer. Oh yeah, you can see it pretty good actually. If I go the right way, there we go. All right, so there's our gorgeous card. This paper is from the Country Woods Designer Series paper. It's new in the catalog. It has wood grains, but more than just like brown wood grains. So we've got this gorgeous blue. I love this. This is one of my favorite new papers. It's just, it might not stick out at you to begin with. Here, let me go this way. Let me move my card over and then pull this paper out. I don't have my neat 6x6 samples made yet. I've been doing a lot of swap cards. So I have used my paper, but look, there's one that has petal pink and gray, and then these blues and grays. This one even has a touch of, oh, I don't know, not wild wheat, maybe crushed curry and gray. And here's another one. They're just gorgeous. And then you have some true wood grain. So like this one is a pretty true wood grain. Then there's a lighter, here's a darker one. Maybe those two are the same. And then there's one more that is a really soft. I think it's actually the one that's on the back of the paper we're using today. Let me grab that. And it's this kind of really soft, normal looking, you know, not weathered wood grain. So don't miss this. It's really good for so many types of cards. What Country Woods Designer Series paper. And again, you'll be able to get my project sheet. This is what, let me grab my project sheet. This is what the project sheets look like when you download them. The picture of the card, the products I used, and then the sizes of the cardstock. So this is how it will be your PDF. As I said, you'll need to go to my blog, which is createwithjoey.com, and go under the top row of selections. You have clubs and, well, I think it says class to go right there at the top of the first page. And then if you click on that, you'll go down. It'll bring you to the page where it shows this class. And there'll be a link there for the project sheet. Okay, if you put in an order, the project sheet will be emailed directly to you. How did I do this? Oh, I kind of did like this. Down here a little more. Looking at my original, it's like, what? How did I do this? Like so. And then this isn't working. I don't know what I'm thinking. We have to have the dimensional at the other end. So let's go. I'm going to actually take this one off. And then we want this at this end, because there is one that's going to pop up already, and we don't want, I'm trying not to get it to double pop up, you know what I'm saying? That's better. It just makes the front of the card look uneven, and also if you're mailing it, then that place is going to get the most pressure when they put it through the machine. All right, these whoops, hit the light. These embellishments are so pretty. They're called Adhesive Backed Pearl Trio, and the colors are Calypso Coral, Misty Moonlight. This could go a lot of different ways, and this is Petunia Pop. But you can see that there's a lot of ways that these pearls would go. As of this morning, I think they're still sold out, which I'm sorry, so sorry to be using something that's sold out already, but they'll be back. I think a lot of things are coming in June 3rd. I don't remember if this is one of them. I think it is. So they're not too far out. But there's our finished card. God bless. And we probably should put a little something on the inside. Let's see what we have here. How about I'm not sure. I think this is going to go to my friend in Colorado that just lost her husband. I've already sent a sympathy card, but so I'm not putting anything in the middle. But there are a lot of greetings there you could use for the, okay, card number 1. And the next one is going to be a little faster and a little bit more simple. But we're still going to use our blending brushes. So let's pull out our card pieces here. And I'm going to get my sample sitting in front of me so I can see it. We're going to use blending brushes on this card, but we're not going to use the masks. And I'll show you, let's see, I need one of those for the inside and then one for the outside. So I'm going to show you another way to use your blending brushes, and it's a little bit quicker than using the masks, although the masks are, you know, they're the wow factor. But we're going to make one that's a little faster, a little bit easier, but still really pretty. So let's go ahead and clean our stamp here. Now I'm going to start cleaning it like this. This has Early Espresso ink on it, and we're going to use Memento Black. So I'm going to start like this and make sure there's not ink anywhere. And then we'll go ahead and clean it this way too, just because I'm kind of rubbing it into the cleaning mat just to make sure there's no ink in between. Now we're going to Memento Black, so it's probably not going to really matter that much anyway. But I'm also going to pull out my piercing mat. This is in the catalog as well. This is good to have for photopolymer stamps. And we'll go ahead and get our black ink out. Jackie, you weren't sure about that DSP, but it's catching your interest. You know, Jackie, it's just like so many things. If we see them in the catalog, and the catalog doesn't actually even show all the DSPs super well, well, then we see it in person, and this isn't really in person. If you were here in person, you would even see it better. I just inked this before the video, but I'm gonna make sure it's well inked, because this is the Memento is a felt pad instead of our foam pads, so it doesn't like to let go of the ink quite as well. Oh, I got ink on that, so let's just turn it over. My hands must have ink, which is not unusual for this big of a stamp. Let's go ahead like this. Wait a minute, how did I do this? Is that how I did? I'm looking at my sample just because I kind of want it to look like my sample. This piece of cardstock just fits this image, and it is 3 3/4. by 5. I'm going to give it a good press. I'm going to get this ink out of the way before I get it on something else. And I'm going to press in the middle. Make sure you don't wiggle it. I'm standing up, actually. I just want to make sure I get a good image. So good pressure on it. There we go. And again, I think the artwork's just so pretty. You could just go with that. And in fact, our last card, we basically are just going with the image itself, stamped in a pretty color. I'm just going to wipe my hands on my mat. This looks like it's really dirty. It isn't dirty. I rinsed it just before stamping with it. But it absorbs the ink, and that's why it cleans so well, because it absorbs the ink, so it looks like a hot mess. But I still use it to clean my hands because it works. Okay, now let's just go ahead and let's take some ink colors, and let's just do a bright petunia pop. And for this, I'm going to take, let's get my scrap paper out here. It's good to have scrap paper when you are using a blending brush, because you're gonna, this is kind of the equivalent of stamping off. And there's a lot. This is a really powerful color, so I don't want that much ink. So now I'm just gonna go right to my roses with the blending brush. And I don't really want a huge concentration of color, because I think it just is prettier this way. So that might be actually enough. Maybe just a little more. Going in the centers again, and then kind of brushing out like that. Center, and then brushing out. Like so. There we go. Okay, I like that. So we're just going to take that, then we're just going to go back to our Summer Splash. Another new ink color. And then let's go ahead and get our green brush. For this, I think I used one of the small blending brushes. Let's check. Yeah, I think I did. So this is, oops, let me get that out of the way. This is Summer Splash. And again, I'm going to stamp it off just a little bit. And now I'm just going to, obviously I can't exactly color the leaves, but I'm just going to go where the leaves are and just brush on a little color, so that I have some of that green everywhere there's leaves. If I'm running out of ink, and then just be really careful to stamp some off. And now I'm going to go in here. Now, if you're a perfectionist, this might not be your technique. But for this card, and if I had to make a lot of cards and I was in a hurry, I would do this, because this is only going to take me a few minutes. Okay? Now, I kind of got heavy-handed here, so again, just be careful. You'll see my original, I was softer with that color. I got carried away on Facebook. Then we're going to go to another ink color. We're going to take out Peach Pie. And then, now I know I had a small brush for this one. And then for this one, we're just going to hit up these little daisy type flowers. There we go. Just to add a little bit more color. And these all go together really well. The ink colors do. There we go, like so. And I think that probably is good. Maybe these little flowers, these little tiny ones here. And we're gonna call that good. It kind of looks like chalk. How many of you remember, if you've been stamping for a long time, you probably remember coloring with chalks and how much fun we had doing that. All right, let's go ahead and finish our card. This label is from a die that's in the So Sincere, oh no, Something Fancy set of dies. It's this one. These are really good for greetings on your cards, and that's what I used for this one. I'm going to go ahead and just use Memento again. This is going to be a happy anniversary card. I never have anniversary cards, so I'm going to have a few now because having this greeting in the stamp set, and that's, I never know where to look for an anniversary greeting. It's like, what stamp set has an anniversary greeting? So this one has one, so while I'm making cards today, we're just going to make some anniversary cards, and I can't even find my cleaning pad. Here it is. And then this card is going to get a little bit of ribbon, and that's almost done. I did punch. Now this is a 1.5 inch circle. We only have 1 3/4 inch circles. Let's just go ahead and get that out. I'm gonna grab, here's my 1 3/4 inch, and here is, this is from my In Color DSP, the glimmer paper that's all the in colors. It's just gorgeous. Again, this doesn't do it justice to see it on video, but it's still better than in, just in the catalog. And then we're just going to give that a little bit of va-va boom with a little bit of glimmer paper. Let's go ahead and use our adhesive, and we'll get this hooked on like this. And then before we, let's see, got to think, how did I do this? Then I went ahead and put this on my card base of Petunia Pop. This is 4 1/4 by 11, and I scored the long side at 5.5. Get this on. Let's go ahead and wrap a little bit of ribbon. Remember, Stampin' Up's forte is having matching everything. Ink, paper, designer paper, embellishments, and ribbon. So then you know it's going to match and it's going to coordinate. I do remember earlier days of stamping, I would have a color of ink and I would go to Hobby Lobby and I'd be standing there. When you're tying a knot, you want your ribbon to go up and down. That helps make the knot square and it lies flatter that way. I'd be standing in the aisle at Hobby Lobby trying to match up a red ink to a red paper, and it just wasn't working. I started with Stampin' Up products, but then, you know, I thought, well, maybe I can go cheaper. It didn't work. I wasted more money that way than if I had just bought matching cardstock from Stampin' Up. I have a sister-in-law that when she orders a new color, she orders the ink pad, the ink refill, and the cardstock all at the same time so that she knows that she has everything. I'm going to put my dimensionals on the top and the bottom of this piece so it doesn't stick to the ribbon. I want it to stick to the card instead. So there we have our happy anniversary, and let's put some bling on this. Since we know that these pearls are Petunia Pop, let's go ahead and add those for a little bit of bling. And I don't see my piercing tool. Well, here's an old one. I don't know where my take your pick tool is. I even bought a new one. Whoops, we don't want that color. Let's go up here with 2 of these. These pearls are so pretty. I'm glad they're coming back into stock soon. Can do this one. And then let's put white on the inside so that when I'm ready to send it to someone, I don't have to add white. You could write on Petunia Pop with a black pen, it would show, but I'm going to go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and put God Bless on the inside of this one so there's an inside greeting. If I can find the stamp. It's a little one. Where are you? Where are you, little stamp? Where are you? Where are you? I've been trying to keep all my stamps in one place when I do a Facebook Live. Well, actually, when I'm stamping too. But then I get in a hurry to go to the next step, and let's do it in pink. Then I set it down without thinking, where did I set it? God bless. I love that everything matches. It's just so nice. I think Petunia Pop might be my favorite new ink color. Who likes Petunia Pop? Or who is looking at these ink colors and going, that's not my favorite. Peach Pie is my favorite. These are the three that I have out. I've got Petunia Pop, Summer Splash, and Peach Pie. There are two more. There's, let me pull them. There is Shy Shamrock, and then there's a, what else? What am I missing here? Well, for Pete's sakes, I can't even remember what I'm missing. We've got these four. Oh, Pretty in Pink. Oh, you know why I'm missing that, my friends? Because I took it to Colorado to, I have a couple of team members in Colorado, and they live near my brother, who I actually didn't stay with, but this time because they had so much going on. And I left, we did a card in Pretty in Pink, and I left it there. So these are the little ink spots where you can just use your ink refills and make your own ink pad. I did order a new one last night. But what's your favorite of these? I've used Petunia Pop the most. Pam, you like the first one? You like this one, Julie? Oh, good. I like it when people like different cards. We have one more, and this will be the fastest yet because we're going from the most time-consuming to the least time-consuming. So let me show you this one. This one, we're just going to do what we've kind of talked about all along, which is we're just going to stamp the image. And then I have a way to add a little bit of detail to it, and I'll show you how to do that. We're actually not going to use blending brushes on this one. We could, but I wanted to show you this stamp can be used. You don't have to pull out the mask if you're in a hurry. Now, how can I lose a big, here we go. If you're in a hurry, this is a good one because it fills up the whole card. Let me find my clean. By the time I get to my third card, like, I can't find anything on my desk anymore. Like, where is my cleaning pad? I think I did clean this. Let's see if I did. Maybe not. All right, hang on. I've got another cleaning pad. My team meeting was Tuesday night. That's another reason why I just couldn't get my video together by Wednesday this week. My team meeting was Tuesday. It's always the second Tuesday of the month. And I had to get their cards all prepped on Monday. And, you know, just was everything that piled up at one time. All right, now let's go ahead and same thing. We're going to have our stamp facing up. And then this is Misty Moonlight. I picked Misty Moonlight just because that's the color of the pearls. And we've used the other two colors of pearls. Just put them on your list so you can get them when they come in. Again, they're called, what are they called? Adhesive Backed Pearl Trio. And the number is 163319. It's hard to see it. 163319. Put it on your wish list because you'll want these. They're really, really pretty. Okay, let's make sure again they're really inked really well. And then I probably should get out my piercing mat again. I do keep my piercing mat covered with scrap paper because, oh, where's my card? Here we go. Just because I don't want ink on it, so I'm going to keep it covered. And I see I'm kind of low in the picture. Let me get higher here. And then we'll just go ahead and let's see. I want it like this. So this fits. And this paper is the same size as our last card. It's 3 3/4 by 5. And again, I'm going to press pretty good. Try not to rock it. If you rock it, it'll smudge it. So try really hard not to smudge it. Okay. All right. So this is Misty Moonlight. And then we have this gorgeous image again. And we're going to do very little to this one. We're going to do a little bit, but not very much. Let's go to this marker. So these markers are standalone in the catalog. It's the Stampin' Up basic black marker. And for this, I'm going to add some splatters. I'm going to take the longer end. This is the wider end. As you can see, this white stripe is bigger than this stripe. So this is the end that's much thinner, and this is a wider one. And I'm just going to take my cap. Let me get this into the video a little better. And I'm just going to take my cap, and I'm going to do some splatters on my card. You don't have to do this, but it adds a little bit of interest, like so. And I know it's black. You could use your blue one, obviously. I'm using my black one because if you mess up your blue one, if you do this a lot, it does make the ends of your marker, it can fray it a little bit. So I just use the black one in order to kind of not have to replace a whole family of markers, because now you can't buy individual ones anymore. Now the other thing I'm going to do with a blending brush, which you may or may not have tried, is I'm going to color my ribbon with it. So I'm going to get out, where's my ribbon? Good heavens, I had everything stacked up here. Here it is. This is a new ribbon. It's called Stripe Trim. One of the reasons I've been doing my project sheets before my videos go live is so I can tell you exactly what it is. It's called Iridescent Striped Trim is what it's called. It's kind of hard to see in the book because look how delicate it is, and then it does have the striped iridescent stripes in it. So I'm going to take my blending brush and I'm going to color my ribbon. How did I do this? I think I went, let's get this out of the way. I think I went from one end, let me get the end of this, and then I'm going to just go like this, like so. Now, it might be a little splotchy. It doesn't really show because it's so sheer. So I might just stamp it off once, but then I'm going to keep going here. I'm going to actually come back and go this way. I think it's a little easier to hold it that way. And then your fingers are also on the part of the ribbon that isn't colored yet. But anyway, there's no exact science to this. It's just adding a little bit of color to your sheer ribbon. You could do this with a white ribbon too. I'm going to go a little bit further just in case. Now in your card packs, your supply kits, when you put in your order, I will put enough ribbon to make this card. Well, I always put in whatever the ribbons are, twine or something like that. But remember, you're getting a blending brush with your order. Just know that, I gotta find my card here, that I'll have to order, so the special ends on the 19th, which is Sunday, and then I will order on Monday morning the blending brushes. And if I need any supplies for the cards, I'll order all that on Monday morning. And it takes 7 to 10 days for it to get to me from Stampin' Up. And then I have I already have card supplies cut for this when I cut my own. For the Facebook Live, I always cut extra. So I've got card supplies cut. Let's see, how do I want to do this? Sometimes I have to think about how does my ribbon have to go in order for me to tie it. Can you see the blue? It's very subtle, but I just thought it was so pretty. And it's just another way to use your brushes. It's always good to have multiple ways to use our tools and supplies because, you know, we invest in them. So we definitely want to have a lot of ways to use them. I'm gonna get this ribbon is so pretty, you guys. I wish you could see it in person. It's very shimmery, and I love the blue. I think the blue just really adds a lot. Let's see, we'll make a knot again for this one. So when I'm making a knot, I'm gonna have my ribbon go up and down like so, and then hold it there with my middle finger on my left hand. I'm right-handed, obviously, and then pull this through. Oops, can't get that to come through. Come on, you silly little ribbon. There we go. And then as I pull it, I'm mostly pulling on the right, and that helps it stay flatter, like so. I'm gonna go like this. All right, let's take our ribbon scissors and let's cut. Let's see, how do I want this to go? I want this to go this way. I like my ribbons to be cut the same diagonal, like this, like so. Okay, isn't that pretty? It's just pretty, just even on its own. We're gonna keep it really simple. We're gonna stamp the greeting. This is gonna be grateful for you. This is a thank you card. Get this a little bit creased a little bit with my bone folder. Oh no, look at this. I smudged it. Oh, for Pete's sakes. Joey, dang nabbit. Anyway, here. And I don't think I can fix that. All right. No, it's okay. You won't do that. Just make sure when you're doing the ribbon thing with your brush that you don't get ink on your fingers. Okay, hang on. I'm going to fix this. I'll show you what I would do. This is, I would take another, I think this is the right piece of cardstock. Yeah. No, 4.5. We're just going to switch out that bottom piece. The card base. I usually have a lot of card bases cut, actually. I don't know why that one wasn't scored already, but okay, let's see if we can do this. Now, when you do this, you have to be careful. I'm going to just gently lift this up, very slowly peeling it. If you watched me before, you know that we construct and then we often destruct, which is what we're doing today. I know that smudge is still there, but I'm going to be okay with that. Actually, what I might do is just take my, do I have a blue sponge? No, I don't. So I was going to just put a little bit more blue ink around the edges, but we're not going to bother with that. It's okay. I'm going to put a pearl there and it's all fine, right? Okay, so we're going to put this on, and then I think we can sneak back on this ribbon. I'm going to kind of fold my ribbon like this. If you ever have to move your ribbon, just fold your cardstock a little bit. We're going to go like this. Okay, I feel better about that. We're going to cover that up. We're not going to worry about it. I could actually, what about if we just move up our ribbon to the top and move this bow? We'll move this bow over here. Okay, I think that's actually a little bit better. All right, this is, you know, this is learning how, if you boo-boo like Joey does, what to do about it. All right, let's take out just some white cardstock. Just a scrap, and then we're going to take Misty Moonlight again. Oh, Cheryl. Hi, Cheryl. Oh, thank you, Julie. Just pick a scrap of this. I do think monochromatic cards are elegant. I really do. And then we're going to go ahead and take our 1 3/4 punch, like so. And then we'll put, let's put it down here maybe. See, on my other card, let me show you this card. So on this card, I tucked it in with the ribbon. So with this card, we have a boo-boo. So the ribbon's going to try and help cover up the boo-boo. Kind of. Not exactly. That's all right, kids. We're going with this. You know what? It's a thank you card. No one's going to know that it was a Facebook Live project that went awry. Now, if you have a 1 1/2 circle punch, that's what I used here. I forgot that we don't sell those anymore, so I wanted to go back to this one on this one. Then let's take our pearls. Now, for this, what I did on this particular card is I used both rhinestones and pearls on this card. So we're going to do that today. I'm going to place them a little bit differently, though. I'm going to find my piercing tool or a scissors or something. Here's a piercing tool, and then we'll take these. These say they're Misty Moonlight, but they will go all kinds of different directions, I think, with color. So this, let's see, I'm gonna go. Then I also took some rhinestones because I like that icy blue. I want to bring in the iridescence of this ribbon. And then I just kind of put some rhinestones. How did I do it? I kind of just put them around. I guess I did put one there. And then, you know, kind of change some sizes up on these. Just do some that are bigger. Whoops, what happened? Whoops. No, I lost one. And then maybe here. And I think maybe we'll call that good. What do you think? So that's an easy one. Thank you, Cheryl. I'm happy you like it. This is my original. This is my, oh, there's that stray rhinestone. Let's go in and put that on the card. Let's put it like here. That place. Okay, so there's our third card. So we probably went the wrong direction because we went from very fancy, using all the masks and using Wink of Stella, to a little bit easier and faster, to one that is really fast. I made it longer because I made a boo-boo and then I had to cover it up, so that made it longer, but I think this is so pretty. Again, if you want the name of this, it's Layers of Beauty. Layers of Beauty, and it comes with the dies. It's a bundle. It comes with the dies, and it comes with the masks, all 5 of the masks and the dies. So that's what we looked at today, and the blending brushes make this so fun and pretty. You could do all kinds of different things with them. Thank you for the hearts, you guys. That's so sweet. Thank you for the hearts. Let me get back up here and let me get right side up. Get my toolbar. There's my toolbar. There we go. Thanks so much, and thanks for understanding about me not going live yesterday on Wednesday. I just couldn't get her done yesterday. I just needed the rest, and my brain wasn't working very well, so I thought today would be better. And thanks so much for changing your schedules to watch me today. I appreciate you so much. You'll just never know how much I appreciate you watching. I appreciate your comments, your likes, your support, and obviously your orders when you order from me. I'm really grateful. Thanks so much, and I plan to see you Wednesday next week at 12:30, and I hope you have some fun stamping in between now and then. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.